Good evening, Off the Record fans. Today is April 3rd. We've got a couple articles for you. If you tuned in on Tuesday, we did our first live stream news segment. We're doing our second one today. Definitely make sure you chat down below, say hi, subscribe to the channel so you can see all of our updates. First in the news, Linkin Park welcomes 2 new members. If you haven't been following, Chester Bennington died a couple of years ago. Definitely one of the best vocalists we have in the industry. And the longer he's been gone, the more that holds up with their tunes. So the 2 new members are Emily Armstrong and Colin Brittain. Not sure if that's how you pronounce it. In a significant evolution to their lineup, Linkin Park has introduced the 2 new members. And this marks the band's first major change since the passing of Chester in 2017. Emily Armstrong, the co-vocalist, along with Mike, who was already the other vocalist, she's formerly of a band called Dead Sarah. They are an LA-based rock band. They formed in 2002. It was Emily and their guitarist Suixi Medley, probably messing that up. They were known for their raw energy and powerful performances. They blended rock, punk, and alternative influences. If you will go back and take a listen to their music, it's definitely worth checking out. Very different from Linkin Park. It's a very interesting pick that Mike had, picking Emily. Definitely not a Chester vocalist, although if you watch their live performances, she definitely nails some of the screams. And again, she does not have the same scream as Chester. That's a lot of different people's biggest complaint, but there aren't a lot of vocalists that can scream and sing like Chester. But the band Dear Sarah, they gained their attention in 2012 with their self-titled debut album featuring the song Weatherman, which showcased Armstrong's gritty vocals and their high-intensity energy behind them. This success led to tours with major acts like Muse and The Offspring. Their follow-up album, Pleasure to Meet You, 2015, further solidified their reputation. And in 2018, they released Temporary Things Take Up Spaces EP. Explored a more refined but still intense sound. Their third album, Ain't It Tragic, dropped in 2021, remarking return to it kind of brought back their heavier roots. Over the years, Dear Sarah built their reputation as one of the most electrifying live rock bands. They actually earned some praise from the industry legend Dave Grohl, who originally drummed for for Nirvana, and then began his journey with the band Foo Fighters. The second member that joined Linkin Park, Colin, he's the drummer. But don't be fooled, drums aren't his only instrument. He's actually a multi-layered musician. He plays, I want to say, 6 or 7 different instruments. He was succeeded by Rob Bourdon, who was the original drummer. Now, Colin is actually a producer, a very known songwriter. He's worked in the rock, the alternative, and the pop music scene, not even performing as a drummer, playing other instruments and producing. While he has played drums for various projects, he is best recognized for his production and songwriting contributions to bands like Papa Roach, All Time Low, 5 Seconds of Summer, One OK Rock, and the great Dashboard Confessional. Colin has a distinctive production style. He blends raw rock energy with a polished modern element, helping bands refine their sound while maintaining that authenticity that they're shooting for. His influences have notably and especially been in shaping the sonic identity of contemporary alternative rock and punk inspired acts. His versatile drumming style is expected to really complement Linkin Park's diverse musical approach, especially with that new vocalist. Emily's vocals definitely give it a completely different feel to the band. Might not be your cup of tea because it's not the original Linkin Park, but the show must go on. Their upcoming album they put out, their last release was From Zero, a full-length album with a new lineup. It was their 8th studio album. It was released November 15th of 2024. The album signifies a new chapter for the band, blending a signature sound with new influences brought by Emily and Colin. The title reflects both a nod to their original name and a fresh start that really represents what the band's looking to do. And really, I think the more Mike has been interviewed about the change in the band is he just wants to play music. And Linkin Park has a huge name. As a musician who's been in a band where we've changed our name before, you lose a lot of the steam that you have as a band. A lot of that street cred, a lot of people talking about you. People end up getting lost not knowing that you've changed band names. So I understand why they kept the name, even though some people are not happy with the fact that they're a completely different band with Emily singing. So the future plans for the band, Emily and Colin have been met with enthusiasm from a lot of the fans. It definitely sparked a lot of discussion about the band's direction when they joined. Linkin Park has expressed confidence in their new members and really emphasized a commitment to evolving while staying true to their roots. The band embarks on the From Zero World Tour. It was actually January of 2025. They showcase their new lineup and material to the audiences worldwide. As they begin to journey with Emily and Colin, we're definitely going to see a lot more style changes. One of my favorite songs on the album was, let me see, I know I wrote it down somewhere. It was, let me take a look real quick. If you really want to get an idea of what Emily's vocals will sound like for the future of Linkin Park, the one song on the album that really, really pushed, I think, what she sounds like vocally is Over Each Other. Again, it's not Chester singing. If you watch their live videos with her, she definitely lets the crowd sing a lot of the parts. But she also does hit a lot of those Chester notes. Her scream's not as refined as Chester, but it's a pretty good scream. It's better than mine. So if you haven't checked out their album, definitely make sure you download it on whatever streaming platform you're using. And again, if you are watching this, make sure you chat down below, say hello so I know you're there. We're going to be doing these segments almost every day at 5 o'clock. So if you guys haven't been paying attention to the music news, here's a huge announcement. Literally this week, the band, brand new, is back. So they're an influential emo rock band from Long Island, New York. They haven't announced anything since 2017. Which, I mean, it's a huge return to the music scene having them come back. The tour includes a stop in Rochester, New York, Belmont Park, starting on June 27th. They're going to be playing at the Man in Philly July 1st. So a lot of my friends have already snagged tickets. The tickets will be available tomorrow, April 4th. So the band's history, they formed in 2000. Brand New quickly became a pivotal force in the emo scene. Their debut album, Your Favorite Weapon, showcased a pop punk style that resonated with that emo scene. As they evolved, their sound matured, leading to the critically acclaimed album The Devil and the God Are Raging Inside Me in 2006. Often hailed as one of the greatest rock albums of the century. If you haven't listened to that album, I'm telling you, put it on your list. The album they did right after that is also great. I think they did the next one in 2007, somewhere around the same time. It was within 2 years of each other. Great albums. In 2017, they released Science Fiction, which it debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, marking the highest point in their career. So, but in late 2020, in 2017, the band faced a significant challenge when the lead singer Jesse Lacey was accused of sexual misconduct involving a minor. Lacey publicly apologized, acknowledging his past mistakes and expressing remorse. Following the events, Brand New entered an extended hiatus, canceling their tour plans and retreating from the public eye. Lacey responded over that weekend with a blanket apology for his behavior without admitting to any specific allegations. He said, quote, "I was selfish, narcissistic, and insensitive in my past, and there are a number of people who I have had to shoulder the burden of my failures. I apologize for the hurt that I have caused and the hope to be able to take the correct actions to earn forgiveness and trust," he wrote. "I am sorry for how I have hurt people, mistreated them, lied, and cheated. I'm sorry for ignoring the way in which my position and status and powers as a member of a band affected the way people view me or their approach to their interactions with me. I'm sorry for how often I have not afforded women the respect, support, and honesty that they deserve." So it's been a rough couple of years for the emo scene. Now that we have technology, people are able to call out people for their misconducts. We've seen this a lot in the emo scene, and this was a heavy hit because they were a very loved band in that scene and still are. So seeing him make a very public and long, heartfelt apology doesn't excuse his behavior, but it's definitely a start. It's good to see a band member, the lead singer, making that apology and really confronting the issue. Recent developments, there's are that they are back on tour. So Jesse Lacey started with playing a solo show. I believe it was in Nashville. It was just him and his guitars playing a bunch of songs from their albums. You can find that on YouTube. I'll include that link in the description down below. They then announced their tour in the early 2025 this year. So their upcoming tour, it's going to be for the summer, and basically fans are anticipating the performance of the beloved track, "The Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows," and the song, quote, "Jesus." So Brand New is absolutely known for their intense, emotional live performances, often featuring unpredictable set lists and unique stage setups. If you've ever watched the Rig Rundown, which is a great channel, the guy that runs that channel basically interviews a lot of punk rock bands, emo bands, kind of like that Warped Tour vein, but he also gets into, he's done Jimmy Eat World. I think he might have done Foo Fighters. So he's done a lot of different bands. He basically interviews the guitarists about the gear they use. So if you're a gear snob, if you're a guitarist, I have 5 amps right now, I believe. So I'm definitely on the spectrum. It's a really great show to see the nitty gritty of how these guys play with their sound live. And again, some of these bands, they change their setup every tour. Definitely check that out, the Rig Rundown. But I've got, let's see, 6 fun facts to know about Brand New's live sets. Number 1, they usually have a very unpredictable set list. Unlike many bands that stick to a set structure, they frequently change their set lists, making the show very unique. Fans never know what to expect, which adds to the excitement. Unlike that last Tool concert series where people bought tickets for both, thinking after it had been announced that would be a very different, unique set list, and it ended up being the same exact set list for both shows. I'll probably do a news report on that. Number 2, minimal crowd interaction. It's definitely one of the things that Jason Lacey is known for, is being an introvert and often avoided excessive banter with the audience. Instead, the band let the music speak for itself, creating an immersive experience for the crowd. And again, this is something that I really like. Sometimes when you see local bands opening up for touring bands, that's where I actually notice this, is the yammering in between songs, the tuning, really breaks down that live set. So watching a band that doesn't really interact with an audience, sometimes that could be a very magical moment. Then again, if you've ever seen Blink-182, when they are interacting with the audience, it is always a magical moment. So it all depends on how good they are with their presence on stage. This band's definitely known for just keeping it to the music. Number 3, they incorporate other band songs. Brand New occasionally has teased or covered a song from other bands. One of the examples is they did a nod to Modest Mouse with snippets of Trailer Trash or Third Planet. Modest Mouse, great band. Definitely have heard they're amazing live, whether you listen to them or not. Definitely worth catching. So number 4, chaotic and unpolished energy. While the band's studio recordings are carefully crafted, their live performance had a raw and almost unhinged energy, making songs feel more intense and emotional. Again, this really goes into what they're known for. One of the rumors I heard about Brand New back when I was starting my first band was that they don't really rehearse for their live shows. Don't know if that's true. Didn't find anything on it. It was just speak down the line in the music scene. But I think that's just people seeing how raw and how emotional they are live and thinking that they don't. That's what contributes to it. They're definitely all very tight musicians. So whether they're practicing a lot or not, they're definitely pulling it off. Number 5, the DIY or low-key lighting aesthetic. Their lighting is often moody and subtle. Sometimes it leaves them in almost near darkness, reinforcing that band's mysterious, introspective vibe. Again, Jesse Lacey is an introvert, so just kind of having that dark space while he plays these moody songs definitely helps him get into that mind space of the pain that he wrote about. So number 6, the farewell shows and the 2017 tour, their final 2017 tour supporting science fiction, felt like a farewell with a cryptic message hinting at the band's end. The set list heavily featured songs throughout their career, closing an era for their devoted fan base. I actually got to see Thrice do their pre-hiatus tour, where they did the same thing. They played at least 2 songs from every album. So it was really, when bands are hinting at taking a break or going on a hiatus, whatever's going on, hitting all the different songs from the different albums really hits it in the tummy for those listeners. So definitely, if you have a chance to check them out live, this would absolutely be a band to add to your list to see this summer. We don't know. They might not tour again. They might keep touring, but to be at that first length of the tour, and they haven't played out in almost, it's basically been 7 years. So there's going to be some magic on the stage while they play. Also, you don't know who they're going to be touring with. They haven't announced that. They're a big band. Can't wait to see who they're touring with. and they're from that original emo scene. Maybe they're going to go on tour with a bigger emo band. Maybe they bring out somebody brand new. That's one of the great things about going to shows and getting there for the openers. Sometimes the openers blow you away more than the headliner. Remember that. So if you're listening, we got a couple of viewers on here. Definitely comment down below. Let me know you're there. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, definitely subscribe. So our last news report is on a local band here that I have actually played a number of shows with, the Florida Wayne Band. Now, Wayne is the lead singer, great guy here in Phoenixville. He's been a musician for, I want to say, 30-something years. So April 11th, they're releasing a single called Breakup. They've been working on this album now for about a year. I've heard a couple clips. I've heard full songs. It sounds great. Really good band. They added a full lineup in the last 2 years. They used to be, I believe they were a three-piece, and they always had a fourth member that would come and go, possibly playing with them. And they recently added my buddy Pat, who is in the band Evolve from this area. Great guitarist, great vocalist. They have a solid lineup. I love all the guys in this band. We're actually playing with them April 12th at the Water Tower in Oaks. We're doing a co-headlining show. They're playing last. We're playing first. Great venue, huge stage. The stage it's all professional equipment, and it's in the middle of a bowling alley. So the Water Tower is Arnold's Family Fun Center. If you haven't been there, come and check it out. It's going to be a great show. And I believe we're going to be selling, we're going to have a special on Not Pizza, the drink, made by my buddy Luke, who we will have on the show pretty soon. So yeah, April 12th at the Water Tower in Oaks. They're going to be playing with us. Then Wayne actually said they're looking to release another single in May, and then another one in June. And then July, Wayne's actually having a second child with his wife. So they are going to be taking some time off. He did say they are looking to do some pop-up, mostly probably acoustic shows, maybe at the record shops around town or around the Philadelphia area to promote the album. They're actually going to be releasing a vinyl of the album on April 12th at our show, and it's MMXXV, which stands for 2025. Great band, great tunes. You can check out all their stuff out on their Facebook. They are going to be playing in the area until the summer hits, then taking a break, and then hitting back up the local scene in September. So if you like the show, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share with your friends, and stay tuned. We've got some big news coming up in the next week. Now that we're going live every day, I got to listen to 2 songs that Fuel are working on today, talking with their manager, 2 unreleased songs, and I'm really liking it. I'm not going to share it. I'm not going to talk about it yet, but I'm friends with the manager that manages Fuel, Creed, Hinder, and Lit. So I will be getting music news and updates about those bands and how they're going to be going on tour in the next year. They're all doing tours together and with other bands from that era. So if you are enjoying this, make sure you go and check out the episodes that we've released with other artists. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a great night.